Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee, aka the Prairie Sage, and today we're talking about Final Fantasy 16.
That the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals. And that it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation.
I'm doing well, bro.
That ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Before we get into too much about the demo, let me just state that with Final Fantasy 16, one of the positives about it is that it is made and produced by the same team that also made Final Fantasy 14, or currently makes Final Fantasy 14. So that fact alone has given the fans a lot of hype for this game, a lot of hope for this game. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I kind of lost a lot of hype when it came to Final Fantasy single-player RPG games after 10. 10 was great, and I kind of just felt like it fell off after 10. But with 16, I think they are going to succeed in making a lot of people believers again in single-player RPGs with the Final Fantasy title. The demo was that good. If the rest of the game holds up, I think it's going to be Game of the Year. Final Fantasy 16 is set in a fictional world of Valisthea. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Valisthea is a world that's divided between 6 nations who hold power through access to magical crystals and dominance. Now the dominants, they're not people, leather chain whip type garb or anything like that. They're just humans who act as hosts for each nation's icon. So if you follow anime and you've watched Naruto, very similar to the Jinchuriki there, essentially. Very similar concept. In fact, that may be kind of where they got this idea from. I haven't seen if that's been stated or reported anywhere, but if I ever had the chance to ask them, that would be one of the questions I would be asking. The tone of the game was fairly dark, much darker than I expected. I expected it to be darker than Final Fantasy 14, but I wasn't expecting it to be this dark. 14 had touched with some dark tones in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, but man, this blew it away. A lot of death, people getting crushed by boulders, people getting stepped on by primals or icons, excuse me. It was really adults oriented, which I thought was really great. I think it does a lot for the game. It allows them to do a lot more with the game without having to worry about sticking to tones that don't cross like the mature rating, which this game is rated M for mature.
You cock.
Benedicta.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
You motorboating son of a bitch. Speaking of mature, the game devs in this game also didn't have a problem with making their men strong and their female sexy, which is a rare thing today in the Western game development world.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken?
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall,
the capital will lie exposed, which just leaves me.
One of the things that helped make this dark tone work for the game is that Yoshi P, who was the producer of this game, he actually made his team watch, I think, the first 2 or first 4 seasons, something like. He made them watch Game of Thrones, essentially, to understand the concept and I guess the story before Game of Thrones supposedly got bad or became bad. I never watched it, so I can't really tell you too many details about Game of Thrones itself. But what I think is really cool is that if he gets an idea for something, of a style that he wants to kind of follow or mimic, he does the research. He does his homework. He gets his team to do his homework. He did the same thing with 14. When he was rebuilding 14 from the trash fire that it was originally released as, he had his team play World of Warcraft, so they understand what's already out there on the market, so they get a baseline level of what is expected by the players. And I think that's great. Game of Thrones, I guess, allowed his team to understand at a base level what was expected for Final Fantasy 16. Moving on to combat. The combat system in this game was really good. They had two different types of combat. You had your icon combat, which is more like your kaiju boss battles. And then you had your primary form of combat between knights or between soldiers or between people. The people combat was smooth, had good dodges, good iframes for dodges, good combat system overall to be able to use magic and melee attacks at the same time. They did have a stagger bar for you to be able to stagger your opponent and deliver increased damage during that time window. Ooh.
Hey, look out!
Who is this?
May I have this dance?
Estinian?
Imperial Dragoon.
And you are the shield who was blessed by the Phoenix. Not that it will save you!
The combat system also had these cinematic events, almost like an active time battle, time event, whatever you want to call it, similar to what Final Fantasy 14 has in certain boss battles, where everything comes to a kind of really slow / freezing halt almost, and you had to press a button, whether it be an attack, whether it be a dodge, within that time window. If you were successful, it would pop up, you would continue with the cinematic event. I don't know what would happen if you failed, because I never failed, although I can't imagine it would be too punishing. But what's really cool about it is you get the cinematic type dopamine hit while still being in the fight. It adds a lot more to the fight, which is really cool. You also had the ability to do skills that appeared to be learned from icons. Clive, at that point in time, didn't seem to have an icon in him, but yet he had Phoenix type abilities, shooting fireballs, some sort of other Phoenix looking uppercut type attack.
He's open!
Whoa, nice. Get him.
Now,
Get him.
Clive! Have at it!
So, oh, that was fun. I liked the combat. It was very fun to do. The demo also had another method after you beat it to where you could kind of skip forward a little bit and do combat where you had more primal or more icon abilities, such as Titan, Garuda, stuff like that, to give you a better understanding of a little bit more of the fully fledged out combat system that you're going to experience in a game. All that was good. The primal battles or the icon battles, holy cow, that was well done. It was outrageously crazy. Whoa.
Titan.
That's a huge bitch!
Holy cow, and there's Shiva.
Bastard.
She's beautiful. Is he just stepping all over his own people? Holy cow. It was scaled really well so you could see just how massive the battle is. You had people jumping well, not people. You had like Ifrit jumping all over the place. You had Titan crushing people underneath his feet as he walked. You had Shiva up in the middle of the air, kind of forming in her crystal and then fighting after she kind of breaks out of it, shooting ice crystals at Titan. It was fun, and it wasn't just watching. The good thing about this is you were brought into the battle to where it felt like you were getting the dopamine hit of a cutscene, but you were actually involved in doing the fighting where you shot your attacks, you dodged or rolled out of attacks. It was really epic. The music on top of it, oh my god, just made those kaiju boss battles out of this world. I was not expecting that. I wondered what they were going to do with this game, and I was blown away by the combat in this game. Speaking of music, the soundtrack of this game was composed by Masayoshi Soken, and if you're a Final Fantasy XIV fan, you definitely already know that name for all the killer soundtracks coming from that game. And it's not a surprise, really, because he's been kicking ass for years when it comes to music that ties well into a video game. He does the same thing here with 16. The music is just terrific. It's well done. The pacing of it is well done to match the scene that it's tied to. Music itself is really something that can make or break any scene, whether it's anime, whether it's a movie, whether it's a TV show or a video game. If your music is horrible and it doesn't match the scene, it's not going to work. So it can elevate something that's really good into something that's just out of this world amazing, and that's what he does here. The video game itself, the animation, the fight scenes, all that's already out of this world, but when you add his music to it, oh my god, it gets your blood pumping and you're excited, you're into what's happening on the screen, and that's what he does. And my hat off to him, because that's one of the best things about this game is the music is both awesome, done perfectly, and you also can recognize it. Parts of the music, if you've played Final Fantasy XIV, you recognize it. So it's really cool. It's different, but yet familiar, if that makes sense. So I love it. I'm glad that he's in it, and that's just another positive as far as I'm concerned when it comes to this game. What is this? Damnation in, oh, holy hellfire, is that the hellfire? Kill him, or stop him. Oh no, it's hellfire. This music here is, oh my god. It's a good boy. Way to stay alive. Now, with all this being said and shown on the screen, please understand one thing. I am not a professional reviewer. I'm not like some of these people who have a background in art or games or storytelling. I'm just an average guy on the internet, father of two, works a full-time job. I just love games, especially Final Fantasy. So all of this, it may seem rough, may not be as good as some of these other people out there. The editing may not be as good, but you know what? I'm passionate about what I played. I'm passionate about what I saw and what I listened to. And it's a great game. And if the rest of the game continues to play out at the pacing and the level that this demo showed, this will be game of the year. They've knocked this one out of the park. Final Fantasy 15, what? Nobody knows what that is anymore. 16 will rule them all. It will be the best ever Final Fantasy game that has been ever made. And I even include that over 14, as good as that is. It's just a different style. It's really hard to compare the two. So with that said, take everything I've said here with a grain of salt, but do understand one thing. If you've got a PS5 or you've been on the fence of buying a PS5, this game is a must buy. You must buy this game and play this game. It is awesome. The story, I have no doubt, based on the demo, will be awesome. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe to the channel and click the notification button so you get notifications when I go live playing games or when I submit new shorts or videos. And I hope you guys have a good day. See you guys later. What? What the hell?
I'll kill you! Oh, fucking